One Eagles superstar had some very high praise for one of the younger players on the roster. Could this guy emerge and become a starter in year 2 in the NFL? We will talk about all of it. Welcome into A to Z Philly. I'm RB. Do us a favor, hit the like button if you do enjoy this video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the coverage. I actually want to just start it off with a pretty cool stat. It was announced today. Jalen Hurts and Jason Kelce were the number 1 and number 2 best-selling merchandise holders among all NFL players for this past season. So a lot of people are starting to hop on the wave, man. Obviously, Kelce on the way out, people probably wanted to snag that jersey. Absolute legend. And then you have Jalen Hurts, who is up and coming, and, you know, people are now aware. Like, this is Jalen Hurts' league if he wants to take it by storm, be a top 5 quarterback for years to come. Has a Super Bowl appearance, trying to get back there and regroup after last season. So a lot of people are apparently in support of Jalen Hurts. Also, one more quick nugget that I thought is interesting. Connor Hughes reported Haason Reddick, who the Eagles traded to the Jets, is not at Jets minicamp. Reddick is officially a holdout. Robert Saleh indicated he felt he would show up. So are things getting a little interesting already in New York? A little bit spicy, huh? No Haason Reddick. Hey, come back to the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll take you back. Obviously cannot do that. But look, man, Howie Roseman made a decision to trade this guy and get about 4 to 5 years younger in Bryce Huff. Obviously a risk. I'm still kind of frustrated at this because I think that Haason Reddick still has 2 to 3 more years left in the tank at least. He's been incredible with the Eagles. But I understand Howie not wanting to repeat past mistakes and overpay for guys like this, you know, especially when they do start to fall off. So interesting stuff. We'll see if he ends up reporting, if they give him a contract extension. If not, that would be an absolute devastation for the New York Jets. But let's talk about the Eagles defense, man, because Kelee Ringo has been one of the winners so far through OTAs, through this offseason. A lot of high praise, but what A.J. Brown had to say about him really speaks volumes. He says, quote, "Kelee is difficult at times going against him. I go against him a lot. He is definitely growing. You can see a different step with him. He is hungry and he is competing at a high level." And I think number one, where that foundation is built is from the program he went to, right? A former Georgia Bulldog, just like a lot of the guys on this roster. And he was a 4th round pick last year. He was probably mocked, I'd say, mostly in the 3rd round. I saw him as high as the 2nd last year. Kelee Ringo is a baller, and the Eagles got their opportunity to snag him. They did, right? They got the whole Georgia cast, and Kelee Ringo seems like he is one of the most improved already going into this season. I'm really excited to see how training camp works. I mean, obviously, you know, they went out and they drafted Quinyon Mitchell and they drafted Cooper DeJean. But if Kelee Ringo could really solidify that secondary and step up and be that guy, then, you know, you start to have pieces for the future. Even, you know, say in a year or two when Darius Slay decides to hang it up or go somewhere else, you have Kelee Ringo and Quinyon Mitchell. Yo, the Eagles are building a tandem here. I really am starting to see it solidify itself and play out in that way and come to fruition. But here is what Sheil Kapadia said after watching the Eagles OTAs. Quote, "I try not to overrate the spring." Very fair point. But I thought Kelee Ringo was the best cornerback on the field. I'm not handing the spot to Quinyon Mitchell. If you're Vic Fangio, you say, "I want to play who can help us beat the Packers. I don't care who was drafted when." That is a fact. You got to take everything else out of the equation. Who's the best talent? Who's the best player? Who's going to go out there and be ready on day one? Obviously, Kelee had a little bit of experience last year, had 1 interception, I think 17 tackles, but, you know, he wasn't utilized that much, right? He was still developing. He was, you know, coming to grips in the NFL and trying to learn and adapt to the game. But now it's like, based on what's going on with James Bradbury and that whole situation, Kelee, if you want to step up and take the spot, like, it may be there for you. I still think the Eagles are going to kind of shade towards Quinyon Mitchell, given that they drafted him in the 1st round, not something that they have typically done really ever. But if Kelee Ringo is impressing, and if he's getting praise like this from A.J. Brown, there's no reason to believe that he won't at least be in the mix, right? He'll probably be used on special teams, and, you know, he can probably go out there and maybe just move around a little bit and be a piece for the Vic Fangio defense. We know he's going to throw a lot at these guys. We know he's going to have to rely on his playmakers, especially more of the young guys, as the Eagles kind of transition into this next phase of their defense. But I really do believe he could be one of these sneaky players that rise up this season and maybe start to turn some heads based on everything we are hearing so far. Again, I'm not in the practices, I'm not watching this stuff, but based on everything we've heard, you know, he was getting some first team reps out there and he seems to be looking pretty good. So maybe the Eagles can kind of pull from some of these draft picks they've allotted over the last couple years and start to get some actual production. We'll see what happens, man. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles for, you know, going for these guys from the best programs and developing them. And hopefully this guy could be a diamond in the rough. We'll see what happens. Give me your thoughts, though, down in the comments section. Do you think that Kelee Ringo has any shot of ending up as cornerback number 2 on the other side of Darius Slay? Give me your thoughts down below. Also, real quick, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor of today's video. It is the great BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using our code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlays, live bets, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So go ahead and find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with the bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions.